Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to you on Academy. I'm Prashasti Arora and today we will be discussing about Global Multidimensional Poverty Index 2020. Of course, this survey has been paused because of the coronavirus pandemic, but we will look at the areas of assessment regarding this index. We'll talk about the where India really stands and the other neighbors, and we'll talk about where is India doing well and how it can improve improve its ranking in this index. Then we will talk about who deals with this index in India, and what can be done to improve it. Now, before that, a little bit about myself. I've done journalism and I enjoyed delving deep into current affairs and current events. I've also done an entire summary series of the modern Indian history on the Course Savvy YouTube channel. So please do not forget to subscribe to the Course Savvy YouTube channel. Also, do not forget to follow me on my Unacademy profile with the name Prashasti Arora so that you can get access to all my special classes that I have taken there. And do not forget to use the code PRAS10 once you subscribe to Unacademy, and to follow me on my Telegram channel to get access to the study material that I provide there and all my schedule of the classes. Now, a small announcement before we go ahead: new batches for UPSC CSE 2021, 2022 and 2023 is going to be starting on the 18th of January, so please do enroll for the batch you think is best suited for you. So in this particular session, we'll talk about the introduction, we'll talk about the areas of assessment, we'll talk about highlights of the report, we'll talk about what has been India's performance, and you can use these highlights of the report and areas of assessment in your answers while you're writing mains and you're practicing answer writing daily. So please do that right away. Now, talking about so the first thing that we have to remember here is that whenever we do an index, we have to know India's ranking in it, we have to know who has released it, what are the areas of parameters, and then so on and so forth. So what we have to remember about Global Multidimensional Poverty Index, it is an international measure of multidimensional poverty covering 107 developing countries. Now, of course, there have been other indicators in the past also, like the Human Development Index, etc. But this particular multidimensional index is even more important because it gives an overview of the individual issues that are there regarding poverty. Now, it was first developed in 2010 by which particular organizations. It was published by Oxford Poverty and Human Development Initiative and United Nations Development Program. Now, the Global Multidimensional Poverty Index is released at the high level political forum on sustainable development of the United Nations every year in July. Now, this was about the index. Now, what are the indicators? It uses 3 dimensions and 10 indicators. The first one is education, second is health, third is standard of living. So these are the 3 dimensions of poverty: health, education and standard of living. And the 10 indicators are nutrition, child mortality, years of schooling, school attendance, cooking fuel. Under living standard, there is cooking fuel, improved sanitation, safe drinking water, electricity, flooring, assets. So what we have to remember is that under health, the government has started to give priority pertaining to nutrition of the children, because if nutritious food is not provided, it will really hamper the future generation. And in fact, in that regard, the midday scheme and the Poshan Abhiyan of the government is trying to give nutritious food. And of course, there has been an argument regarding hidden hunger, where only rice and roti is being fed. But in that regard, the concept of fortified food is basically food that has that has added nutrition. So of course that needs to be put out, that needs to be given more in quantity. And then talking about education, now years of schooling, the primary education 6 to 14, this regarding the new education policy has also focused on the years of schooling and how it can change the curriculum for better enhancement of students. And then talking about school attendance, that also deals with the fact that because there was low attendance, then there was midday meal that was introduced into the system, wherein students were encouraged to come to schools, and they'd get free meals. And in that regard, this was a huge success, but because of the coronavirus pandemic, it has really brought out the insecurities of this particular scheme, and how it will take some time to get back. Then of course living standards include safe drinking water, and the government is trying its best to achieve the global standards for safe drinking water. Then improved sanitation. The government has been working on the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. In fact, the whole nation is working on the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, and that has really improved the sanitation of the nation. Then there is also electricity, flooring and assets. So these were the three dimensions of poverty and the 10 indicators. Now a person is multidimensionally poor. Please remember the line that is being used here is a person, which means that this particular index really focuses on the individual. So if a person is multidimensionally poor if he or she is deprived in one third or more, which is basically 33% or more of the weighted indicators. Out of all these indicators, if a person has been given 33%, if there is weightage of 33% or more, then a person is multidimensionally poor. Now of course what we have to remember here is that 1.3 million people are living in multidimensional poverty index. And the burden really is falling on the children, wherein half of multidimensionally poor people are children under age of 18, which shows how much as a nation we have to work in ensuring that children under the age of 18 get the right kind of nutrition education. And the third dimension, that is living, the standard of living. Then about 84.3% of multidimensionally poor live in sub-Saharan Africa and South Asia. Now this is basically globally. And then of course this also shows that India needs to work on it as well. And then 67% of multidimensionally poor people are in middle income countries, which shows that again all of in the entire globe really needs to take up a campaign and ensure that the index, the ratings get better. And then talking about India's performance, India lifted as many as 250 million people out of multi-dimensional poverty between 2005-6 and 2015-16, which is a good number, but of course there needs to be a lot more done in this regard. Then remember that India is 62nd among 107 countries. 107 countries participate in this particular index, so it's India is 62nd. And neighboring countries like Sri Lanka is 25th, Bhutan is 68th, Nepal is 65th, Bangladesh is 58th. Even Bangladesh is ahead of us. Then China is 30th, then Myanmar is 69th, and Pakistan is 73rd. So of course we really need to learn from countries like Bangladesh, who are ahead of us. And of course Sri Lanka as well. Of course, the population is lesser there, but still there are some steps that we can take that that can improve our ranking in this particular index. Now, remember that Niti Aayog is the nodal agency for taking care of the mechanism of multidimensional poverty index in India and driving reforms in that regard. And basically, remember that MPI is multidimensional multidimensional poverty index is a measure that takes into account the indis it takes into account poverty and the extent of deprivation that is prevalent in a nation. Now, of course, the government can do much more than what it is doing. It can provide subsidies and schemes to children below 18, so that in that area it can improve the ranking. Then, of course, more development initiatives can be taken up, and more investments can be pushed, can be given in the context of development projects. Then more funds from the central government can also be a way in which this particular ranking can be improved. And the other initiatives like the Poshan Abhiyan, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, then midday meal scheme, all these can be better enhanced to in order to ensure that India does even better in the next report that is released. This was about the multidimensional poverty index. I hope you enjoyed the session. Please like the session if you have enjoyed it. Now, remember that iconic price hike is going to be taking place on the 25th of January. So please do upgrade from the plus to the iconic subscription if you've not done it already. It will help you connect with a personal coach. There'll be means test series, then there will be a study planner, there'll be study booster sessions, then there will be workshops, there'll be answer writing that will happen daily, that will fine tune your preparation. So beat the price hike and upgrade now. Also, you can avail the subscription at a 10% discount by using the code PRAS10. This is it from my side. Thank you so much for your time. See you next time.